think of the word unicorn, what comes to your mind first? Rainbows, colourful fashion trends, or maybe something, or someone, extremely unique? You are probably thinking of a white, one-horned horse. Well, tales of unicorns are about as old as humanity itself, ranging back over 3,000 years. And after all this time, they are still popular and have become a part of pop culture. The first account on unicorns by Greek historian Theseus was written in the 4th century BC. The ancient Greek believed unicorns to have been very much real. They supposedly lived in India, a fabled, faraway realm. Therefore unicorns were not a part of Greek mythology, but rather ancient Greek natural history. During his time in Persia, Theseus gathered information on unicorns. He described them in his work Indica, which translates to On India. According to Theseus, a unicorn is some breed of wild ass, but with a horn about 28 inches long, growing out of the center of the creature's head. The colors of the horn varied. Some were black, some white, and some red. Look at me, I'm dressed in unicorn horn colors. Perfect. He described the animal as fast and incredibly light on its feet. By the way, the word unicorn is derived of the Latin words uni, meaning one, and cornus, meaning horn. So, the word literally translates to one horn. Unicorns appear in many cultures all over the world. In Asia, Africa, and South America. They have been mentioned both in the Bible and the Quran. Unicorns, unlike many other magical creatures, are still so well known to this day because the Church adapted the unicorn myth during the Middle Ages, when there was a great emphasis on religion in Europe. Mythical creatures that the Church did not approve of were branded as sinful, evil. The unicorn, however, was turned into a symbol of Jesus Christ, and artists were able to integrate them into their works without fear of prosecution. The medieval European unicorn is the version of the animal that most closely resembles the modern one. It was a creature like no other, a symbol of purity and beauty, the very picture of innocence, grace, and majesty. It was said to be able to outrun any other animal, and was the perfect blend of male virility and female nurturing. Some might even say that the unicorn represented life itself. Depictions of the animal varied from artist to artist, but the most common ones were of a white horse, goat, or wild ass. A single spiraled horn grew out of the creature's forehead. It had cloven hooves, a lion's tail and, in some cases, a billy goat's beard. The unicorn's horn was called alicorn, and it was the source of the unicorn's power. The alicorn was known for its healing ability, and was very sought after by nobility. It worked as an antidote to every poison, could cure any illness, and even extend your lifespan. The only problem was that it was impossible to capture a unicorn alive, or at all. But there was one thing that could draw the wild woodland creature in: the innocence of a virgin maiden. Hunters would tell the maiden to wait under a tree for the unicorn to pass by. When the unicorn saw her there, it would approach her, lay its head into her lap, and fall asleep. The hunters then would come out of their hiding spots and trap the animal. Of course, no one could say for sure if unicorns really did exist, even during medieval times. However, none of this stopped traders to sell alicorns for big sums of money. The horns they sold were, in actuality, narwhal horns, or elephant tusks. But most Europeans weren't aware of the existence of neither narwhals nor elephants. So, how does the European unicorn compare to the rest of the world? In China, there's the qilin, an animal with the body of a deer, and the head of a lion. It has a long, forwardly curved horn on its head, and is covered in green scales, resembling a dragon. The Japanese kirin is based on the kirin, but also resembles the European unicorn. It is the third most powerful creature in Japanese mythology, after the dragon and the phoenix. In the Congo there are tales of an animal the size of a donkey, with the tail of a boar and 2 horns on its head. Those horns are said to serve a cure for many illnesses and an antidote to poisons. In Chile, there's the Camahueto, a creature similar to a calf of bull, but with only 1 horn on its head. This horn too is supposed to cure illness. Medicine women would try to capture the animal with a lasso, then tear out its horn. They would proceed to bandage the opening on the creature's head and set it free again. So, can we say for sure that unicorns never existed? Are all those stories only coincidentally resembling each other? Or could such an animal have existed at some point in time? Could it still exist somewhere hidden from humanity? Species die out all of the time, and there are always new species being discovered. Maybe one day we'll know for sure. Until then, have some fantasy, because the world is in desperate need of a little magic. Fun facts. Unicorn Day is on the 9th of April. And for those of you who didn't know, the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland, representing Scottish fighting spirit and independence. So, if you liked this episode, subscribe and tune in next time for a new episode of the Forgotten Fairytale. We are going to dive into the world of dragons. Until then.